Hello people, welcome back. Long time no see. Just want to say I'm really sorry for my lack of consistency with this YouTube channel. Second year, it's hitting me a lot harder than anticipated, so it's taking me some time to wrap my head around the shit I have to do. In fact, I haven't filmed since Greece, which was August, and it's October on Monday. Today we'll be training the best and my most favorite muscle of all time. Yo, deltoids. Because who doesn't freaking love shoulders? Like, they make the entire shape of your arms, and it's just like, love them. I'd pick shoulder day over leg day any day. In fact, I do sometimes, and I need to stop because I'm neglecting the other muscles in my body sometimes. It has taken me about a year to develop something up here. I was that kid that was like 4'8" until grade 9, grew, is still pretty short now. It's really hard to put on muscle, especially in the upper body department. It hasn't been as hard for me to put on leg muscle, but on the upper body, I have worked my ass off all year to try to get some definition. Anyway, so I'm going to share with you how I did that, and obviously, we've got a lot more room for improvement, but I'm happy with what I've accomplished so far. Otherwise, I wouldn't be comfortable enough to tell you what I would suggest. So, in order to make the most out of your workout and make the most out of training your shoulders, it's the same thing with training glutes or with any muscle really, as you have to train all parts of it. So you are probably familiar with knowing that there are 3 parts to your deltoid. You have your anterior deltoid, your lateral deltoid, and your posterior deltoid. This workout specifically is strictly deltoid. This is like one of those workouts where you just want to like pump all you've got out of your shoulders and not be physically able to take your sports bra off the next day. You've come to the right place. So first you have your anterior deltoid. And I'll get all sciencey on you and say it originates on your acromial extremity of your clavicle. You've got your lateral fibers, which originate on your acromion of your scapula, which is your shoulder blade if you didn't know that. And your rear delts originate on the spine of your scapula. Just like you have a spine, your scapula has one too. So like with training any other muscle, in order to develop it to the best of its ability, you have to be hitting it from all angles, which is what this entire workout is. So I have brought to you a shoulder workout that does not ever fail to make me feel completely gassed. So like I said before, all the different fibers are responsible for different things. So your anterior fibers of your deltoid are responsible for flexion of your humerus at the shoulder joint, as well as medial rotation. So any exercise where you're going like this, you're familiar with front raises, pushes, or anything like Arnold press, like internal rotation, you're going to be hitting anterior delt. Lateral delt, they mainly do abduction of the arm. I'm at the shoulder joint, which is why we do more like fly, upright, lying down. Anything that brings your arms away from your body is going to be classified as abduction. Then your posterior fibers extend the arm, which this is flexion, this would be extension. But like opening, that would be extension of your arm, as well as laterally rotating. So anything that involves like this direction, so just so you have a little bit of background information for when you go into this shoulder work, I hope you understand what exercises I chose and why. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more videos. I promise I will be more consistent. I just need to get one done, and then I can just throw them out. Otherwise, here you go. Here's the workout, and I will see you in the next video. So the first and most important thing that we'll do for this workout is to warm up the rotator cuff. So you can use a latex band or a bar or even a really long resistance band for this. This is to lubricate your shoulder joint, warm it up, and let it go through the full range of motion before your workout. Your shoulder is a very free-moving joint. It's a ball and socket joint, but it's not as secure as, say, your hip joint would be because of all the range of motion it can go through, so it can be very, very vulnerable to injury, so you have to make sure you're warmed up as much as possible. So my weighted warm-up was just an overhead press with strictly the barbell.
I do this as the first exercise of the workout, so it is important to once again let your body go through the range of motion before you add too much weight to it. So I gradually increased my weight from 45 to 50, then 55 to 60, and I could only get around 6 reps by the very last set. So I did 4 sets of around 6 to 8, not including the warm-up set, which I would actually add weight for each set, and which is why my reps went down towards the end. Something to keep in mind when wanting to develop your muscle as much as possible with your reps is that you should not be able to do the last rep. If you can probably go heavier. With that said, of course you should challenge yourself, but don't do anything that you know you can't handle, especially without a spotter. So I will call out myself. I can clearly see that I'm using my body's momentum to get the bar up a little bit higher. It is definitely better form to keep your legs straight and using strictly your muscles and your shoulders to get the bar over your head. However, I went heavier than I've ever gone before, and my legs kind of took a little part in that. So try your very best to keep your legs straight and making sure that your back is as neutral as possible. Moving on to dumbbell overhead press. This is essentially the same movement as we did with the barbell, but it is using dumbbells instead, and being seated actually helps prevent an excess arch in your back. I definitely was not dumbbell pressing as much as I was barbell pressing because I wouldn't physically be able to get the dumbbells up if I did, so I just used 25 pounds on each side for 3 sets of 10. So now we're going into working the lateral fibers of your deltoid. So we will be doing lateral raises for 3 sets of 12. However, your third set, so your last set, is going to be a drop set. And if you don't know what that is, basically you're literally dropping the weight. So I went down from 10 to 5 to 2 in each hand. So I did 12 reps with the 10s, then I moved on to the 5s and did 15 reps, and then with the 2s I did 20 reps, which was essentially actually just until failure. I went until I couldn't do another one. I forgot to mention that your last set, the drop set, is a triple drop set, which you can see I'm reducing the weight 3 times instead of just 1 or 2. You can also clearly see in my face that this is extremely difficult, so you should definitely feel fatigued. Also remember to keep a bit of a bent elbow when doing lateral raises. You don't want your weights in your hand to be above your elbows, as well as don't let your body's momentum help the weights out. If you start to raise your arms above the horizontal, it's going to start working your traps more and not as much your delts. So the second lateral fiber targeted exercise are cable upright rows. I chose the cable over a barbell just because of the consistent tension with the cable. Also in doing this, try to align your forearm with your humerus, so you're trying to essentially create another horizontal line with your arms. And we'll be doing 3 sets of 12. So the last exercise, we're going to be targeting our posterior deltoid, which is going to be a rear delt superset. The first exercise is going to be bent over rear delt flies with the cable machine, and these are actually a lot harder than you'd expect just because of the constant tension of the cable, but I did 8 reps on each side, and then you're going to go straight into rear delt bent over rows. Now your grip for this should be pretty wide and your back should be pretty flat and completely bent over. My hamstrings were actually very, very tight that day, so I should have been more bent over. So bend over as much as possible with a flat back and drive your elbows back. Don't use your forearms to bring the bar up. So I did 15 reps for 3 sets. And that's it for the workout. If you like it or you tried it out, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.